Today, we'll be solving LeetCode 695, max area of island. We start by defining a function called max area of island that takes in the grid. The first thing we do is get the number of rows by saying rows equals length of grid, and the number of columns by saying cols equals length of grid at 0. These will help us keep track of our position in the grid. Next, we define a helper function called dfs that takes two arguments, r and c, representing the row and column of the current cell. Inside dfs, the very first step is to check whether r is less than 0 or c is less than 0 or r is greater than or equal to rows or c is greater than or equal to cols or grid at r and c is equal to 0. If any of these are true, we immediately return 0 because it means we are either outside the grid or we have hit water or already visited land. If none of those conditions are true, that means we are standing on unvisited land. So, we mark it as visited by setting grid at r and c equal to 0. This prevents us from counting the same cell more than once. Then, we start calculating the area of this island. We begin with area equals 1, since we are currently on one land cell. After that, we explore all four directions. We say area plus equals dfs with our -1 and c to go up, then area plus equals dfs with our +1 and c to go down, then area plus equals dfs with r and c -1 to go left, and finally area plus equals dfs with r and c +1 to go right. Each of these dfs calls will return the size of the connected land in that direction, and we add it to our area count. Once we've explored in all four directions, we return the area value back to the caller. This completes the dfs function. Back in our main function, we create a variable called max_area and set it to 0. This will keep track of the largest island we have found so far. We then loop over each row by saying for r in range of rows, and inside that, we loop over each column by saying for c in range of cols. If grid at r and c is equal to 1, we know we found land that hasn't been visited yet. So, we call dfs with r and c, which will return the size of that island. We then update our maximum area by saying max_area equals the maximum of max_area and the size we just found. After scanning the entire grid, max_area will hold the size of the largest island.